Okay, let's do another ride along. Today we're at Denham, to the northwest of London, about 20 miles from home, home being Dunstable Downs or the London Gliding Club, which is what passes for a home airport for me. And this trip is going to be a little way to the east of the trip we did previously from Booker to Dunstable Downs. So we're going to see a little bit of a different landscape this time. We're going to do this basically following the major roads for navigation. Again, we're not going to use any nav aids or GPS or anything like that. The GPS in this aircraft, by the way, I haven't tinkered with it too much, but it's the GNS 430, but it doesn't seem to be. You don't seem to be able to pop it out like you can in the default aircraft, which is a pain in the backside. So it's really tiny, So it's it's borderline usable. We're also ignoring the radios, of course. Maybe we'll get to that in future videos. And air traffic control. But there you go. This is Denham Airport is one of the burning blue UK airports. I bought a whole fistful of these, mainly for southern England, but a few other further afield. So we'll be taking a look at those gradually. This is a really nicely modelled airport. Quite a lot of modelling. We've only seen a tiny bit of it there. We've got two different sides of the strip and quite a lot of nice looking static aircraft. We'll take another look at this in other videos to come, no doubt. So the weather's fine-ish. We've got a bit of a kind of thundery looking sky ahead there. I think we're taking off with a bit of a tailwind here, which is a slight miscalculation. Yeah, there's the windsock out there. So yeah, thundery looking sky, but that's not in the direction of flight, so we'll be turning away from that. It is a very hot day today. We're on the summer solstice, 21st of June, and it's very, very hot in the UK, at least by UK standards. 30 degrees, and we're kind of mid-afternoon here, so it's going to be very bumpy. So we took off on 24, we're doing a bit of a 270 degree turn-ish. That's the main railway line below us. Denham out to the left. Get a little bit of a look at that as we head out. Beautiful modelling again on this ground terrain. That water feature there is quite a good, well, it's a cluster of water features. It's a very visible landmark, so we're going to follow that up for a little way, but really we're just, as we turn around here, we're going to catch sight of the M25. That great big chalk scar there, by the way, again is no doubt another part of the HS2 groundwork, which we can see all across this region. So following that water up for now, the M25 is just visible off to the left. We'll get a little bit closer to that, and we'll follow it round. We're going to follow it round to the M1 ultimately. So you can see all that water just heading off to the right there. I think this follows the River Cole round to, and that'll be Rickmansworth just off the nose. So the River Cole goes off to the east, and then I think the Grand Union Canal comes in here somewhere as well. Don't ask me where. It's there's so much down here. I'm not very familiar at all with this area, but very picturesque from up here. But that's the M25 just coming in from the left off the nose. We're going to kind of turn along that and follow it up to the M1. Again, I'm just continue to be amazed by the realism of the modelling here. There's just it's just one of the reasons I bought these burning blue airfields, and I bought about 10 of them or more. It's just so much fun to fly into and around these strips just as a way of exploring the local area. And it really is exploration. You know, these are real places. I've said this before, but it's so detailed. So we're following the M25 up there, but we're going to take a little bit of a diversion. The reason I'm coming this way in particular, there's a feature on the ground which I want to have a look at. It's marked on the maps as an airfield, so we're going to try and find that. It seems to be called New Model Farm Airfield, or on Google Earth it's actually marked as a helipad. So it's just off the side of the M25, round about just above Rickmansworth. So we're having a look for it. Now that white patch just off the nose now, that's Leavesden Film Studios. There used to be an airfield there. I know that because I flew out of it shortly after I had my PPL. I got checked out in Cessna 150s and 152s there. Not an airfield anymore, that closed in the mid-90s. It's now Leavesden Film Studios, owned by Warner Brothers, I think. So I'm going to slow down a bit, maybe come down, just do a bit of a loop and see what we can see. It's not an airfield in the Flight Sim database, certainly. I think this is quite a new venture. That's probably the head, actually, just that little brown stripe just out the front three-quarter view, I think. I mean, that's kind of airfield shaped. I think what we got is a helipad at one end next to the old farm buildings. Yeah, and a grass strip. Pretty sure that's it down there. And looking on Google Earth, this is what this seems to be is literally a farm that someone is basically trying to market as a helicopter access to there's a lot of local film industry around here. So we've got Elstree, we've got Leavesden, we've got Pinewood Studios as well, somewhere not too far. So the idea is, you Tom Cruise can fly in his helicopter and land here and not get stuck in traffic trying to get to work. So let's just go down and see if that really is the strip. We'll take a look at it. I did read this. This is like a 400-metre grass strip, which is must be about 1,500-1,600 feet. Now, if this is the strip, we've got a big sort of forest, well, not forest, but like a wood at one end with, it's going to cramp your style a little bit on the approach. And we've got trees at the other and some buildings at the other end. Let's not land here. Let's just give it a bit of a buzz, because there's nothing on the ground. It's clearly not modelled here as any. Well, there's a building there, so a bit of autogen. But there you go, a new model farm, airstrip and/or helipad. we might come back and land on that. Just for the fun of it. So let's get back on track. We're gonna again, we've got the M25 as our road map, quite literally. So there's Leavesden off the nose there. So again, a fabulous landmark for IFR navigation. And we're going to head for that, what's looking like a white patch off to the in the middle distance, not the foreground. The foreground, that'll be Kings Langley, but the white patch to the front 3/4 now is Hemel Hempstead, and we're switching our allegiance now from the M25, which is heading off to the right of the nose, over to the M1, which is what we can see to the left of the nose. Hemel Hempstead is that big sprawl off to the left. Now you might just be able to make out on the right hand edge of that industrial estate some big round cylindrical buildings. That's Buncefield Oil Refinery. You may remember, or you may not, it's 20 years ago, a massive fire at Buncefield, which was a bit of a catastrophe. So that's where it is. You can just see it down there, sneaking past on the left. It's been rebuilt now, obviously. I think it's an oil refinery. It's an oil storage depot, certainly. So there you go. That's Buncefield. What else have we got? Off to the right. Well, straight ahead will be coming up Redbourne, Harpenden off to the right 3/4 view there. Oh, it is bumpy here. Just crossing over to the other side of the M1. And that built-up area ahead obviously is going to be Luton. We're not going to go all the way to Luton, and that's because we're going to make a left pretty soon, coming up on junction 9. So we're going to make a left here. We're going to fly along basically past Flamstead, Marquee 8 towards Dunstable, and we should already see that Kensworth chalk quarry, which is the big white spot right in the top middle of the frame right now. Flamstead down to the left, Marquee 8 just off to the left of the nose. That's Flamstead. Kensworth quarry ahead. To the right we've got Caddington. I don't know if you can see, but there's a whole bunch of solar panels farms springing up around here, so that's I mean, they're good landmarks, for navigation purposes. And of course Luton off to the far right. So Caddington there, it's all looking very brown out beyond that, which again is, well, actually over the last couple of weeks it has been pretty parched, so maybe that is realistic. Again, I'm very familiar with much of this on the ground. Can identify particular fields that I walk through. Good view of Dunstable straight ahead. That quarry, of course, familiar from our previous expedition. So that'd be Caddington Golf Course off to the right. It's looking very brown and parched at the moment, although the weather has been very parched, so that's probably realistic. Not long since permanently closed. And then just to the right of that we've got Caddington Woods, which is a new estate, formerly the Vauxhall vehicle storage facility. Dunstable Downs Golf Course, right on the dip slope of the escarpment. So we've seen this before. That's the White Lion Industrial Estate and various other bits of industry in Dunstable. Tottenham Head, So we should be hooking around the edge of the escarpment, and we're going to make that same approach as we made in the previous trip. There's the gliding club. There's a great view there just of the escarpment. So we chop it here, we'll come around into that bowl, and we'll put it down on the glider field. Again, it's kind of bumpy coming around here. Getting a lot of sink there. I've got a feeling we're probably, massive sink there. I think we're probably landing with the tailwind. The wind's probably coming over the top of the downs there, so we're getting a sink, probably some rotor effect as well, although it wasn't that bumpy. And we're landing very long here, but we'll give it a nice smooth touchdown, hopefully. Plenty of space. Oh, I definitely got a tailwind because it's just not slowing down. We're going to go off the other side. So that sky still looks a little bit angry, but we survived. No thunderstorms. Yeah, we're miles away from the site now. So there we go, Denham to Dunstable Downs, IFR.